Beyond the euphoria associated with scoring winning goals and the satisfaction of victory, football has quite a number of embarrassing moments. Unfortunately, some of your favorite football stars have had to deal with some embarrassments. These are the most embarrassing moments in football. Number 10. Gerrard's lack of control. Liverpool legend and former captain Steven Gerrard might not be making a lot of impact as a coach. However, as a player, he was an amazing midfielder and a player that his team could always count on. Well, regardless of how good a player he was, he had some bad moments and a couple of slips. One of these slips was particularly embarrassing, and it made his team concede a very cheap goal, ultimately going a long way in costing them the league. Liverpool were having a great time in the 2013-14 season, and it looked like they were going to emerge champions of England. Things were quite perfect until Steven Gerrard failed to control a pass very close to his own goalpost. Although his failure to control this pass did not seem like a big deal, he slipped while trying to fix this initial mistake. Gerrard's lack of control drove the ball into the path of a Chelsea player who did not fail to score. This brought an end to Liverpool's title hopes. Number 9. Adebayor's celebration against Arsenal. Still in the Premiership, Adebayor once had a goal celebration which will go down as one of the most embarrassing and disrespectful in the Premier League. Although this goal celebration made him feel good, it did not go down well with Arsenal fans. Adebayor had just made a move from Arsenal to Manchester City just after new owners took over City. Although his move away from Arsenal in itself wasn't a problem, the fact that he moved to a rival team and the situation surrounding his exit were quite challenging. After joining Manchester City from Arsenal, Adebayor had to face his former club. He ended up scoring a goal in this match, and this was really okay. However, unlike lots of players that avoid celebrating a goal against their former team, Adebayor did not care much about how Arsenal fans felt. He went on to celebrate his goal without any remorse. Although this in itself was not so good, he ran the length of the pitch just to celebrate in front of Arsenal fans. Number 8. Yakubu's 2010 World Cup miss. Speaking of breaking the hearts of fans, Adebayor is not alone in this boat. Fellow African Yakubu Ayagbeni is guilty of the same offense. However, unlike Adebayor, who scored a goal and broke the hearts of fans of the opposing team, Yakubu broke the hearts of his own fans because of his inability to convert a chance in front of an open. Graham was the main official for the match between Australia and Croatia in the 2006 World Cup. Although Graham corrected his mistake, the harm to his career had already been done, and this moment will always haunt him. Number 6. Paul Scholes' miss. Away from the World Cup and to the UEFA Champions League, just like Graham Poles, who forgot the rules of the game for a moment, it appears Scholes forgot how to shoot. Although goal scoring was not exactly one of Scholes' strong points, he scored quite a number of goals. The Manchester United legend will go down in history as one of the best midfielders to play for the Red Devils. However, his missed attempt at hitting the ball in a Champions League match between United and AC Milan will not be forgotten in a long time. Although Scholes ended up scoring after his initial miss, he didn't make any headlines for the goal as his miss dominated headlines. The match ended 3-2 in favor of United, and this goal helped his team. Nonetheless, Scholes might never forget the embarrassment that came as a result of kicking the air instead of the ball. Number 5. Loris Karius's pass to Benzema. For some reason, the universe was behind Scholes and he corrected his error. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said of Loris Karius, who seemed all out to destroy Liverpool in the 2018 Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid. Karius, just like every other goalkeeper manning the post of a big team in the Champions League, looked forward to playing in the Champions League final and laying his hand on the trophy. Well, his wishes never came through. Unfortunately, he was the architect of his own misfortune. If for some reason Klopp had decided to bench the German on the Champions League night in Kyiv, he would have felt really bad. However, that night was the worst of the goalie's career, and sitting on the bench would have hurt less. As much as no one gets to blame Karius for conceding some goals, rolling the ball to Benzema's foot for a cheap goal was not just super embarrassing, it is a moment the German might never forget as it destroyed his professional career. Number 4. John Terry's missed penalty. Speaking of the Champions League final, Karius is not the only player that let his team down when they needed him the most. John Terry did the same. Amazingly, Karius and Terry's flops took place in Eastern Europe. It was a Champions League final match between United and Chelsea. This match was played in Moscow, and Chelsea were close to winning their first Champions League trophy. All they needed to do was score a penalty. Terry stepped up to the challenge, and as the captain of the side, fans had faith in him. He was well aware of what was at stake. It was a rainy night and the pitch was slippery. Little did anyone know that the condition of the pitch was going to go in United's favor and cause Terry the biggest embarrassment of his career. Just as the Chelsea captain was about to hit the ball, he fell and ended up missing his target. Chelsea went on to lose this match, and Terry will always be blamed for this loss. Number 3. Zidane's headbutt. John Terry definitely didn't plan to let his team down, and the occurrence was not his fault in any way. Unfortunately, we cannot say the same for Zinedine Zidane. He also ended his career in the most terrible of ways. Before this embarrassing incident, Zidane was simply popular for his ability on the pitch. However, his action rid legend. It was the extra time of the 2000 defender, and as you would expect, he was sent off. This moment not only marked the end of Zidane's World Cup, Henry, on the other hand, was lucky and did not get punished by the referee. Nonetheless, his action in the match against Ireland was embarrassing. It was 2009, and there was just one World Cup slot between France and Ireland. The game had already moved into extra time, and it didn't look like France was going to come out on top. In the course of the match, the ball came to Henry, who was not in a position to score. Although the angle was impossible to convert, Henry did not consider this a problem. He simply passed the ball to Gallas. It was quite impossible for Henry to hit the ball to Gallas with any other part of his body, so he decided to use his hand. Gallas converted and France were at the World Cup. Although this will always be good news to French football fans, this embarrassing moment is one that many people from out of France might never forgive the former Arsenal captain for. Number 1. Germany massacres Brazil. It was the 2014 World Cup, which was hosted in Brazil. Beyond hosting this World Cup and looking to win on home soil, the Brazilians, led by Neymar, were one of the favorites to win. The Brazilian national team has had a couple of disappointing World Cup campaigns. However, this is no doubt the most embarrassing they have had. Thanks for going all the way. Are there moments you think should be in this video? Please let us know in the comment section below. Also, hit the subscribe button to see other videos like this.